Your four favorites are Tar, Sharp Objects, Bacurau, and Hulk. This is a weird one for me because these are all so different. The closest I could come to even connecting these movies into one recommendation is Brokeback Mountain, because like Hulk, it was directed by Ang Lee, like Tar, the main characters are queer, and like Bacurau, it's a contemporary western. But that one doesn't feel like your type of movie. Little Children was directed by Todd Field, the director of Tar, and Jennifer Connelly is in this one, and she was also in Hulk. My go-to recommendation for people who love Tar is The Piano Teacher, but The Hunt also comes to mind. A lot of people compared Maestro to Tar when it came out, and you didn't have that one marked as watched. But when it comes to movies about composers and or conductors, my favorite will always be Amadeus. I wanted to recommend a couple other Cate Blanchett movies since she's the star of Tar, and I think you might like Blue Jasmine and The Aviator. Coincidentally, Alec Baldwin is also in both of these movies, and he has a voice cameo in Tar. Since you like Sharp Objects, I definitely think you'd like Big Little Lies, which is another series directed by Jean-Marc Vallée, but a movie he directed that I think you might like is Wild. Another psychological series you might want to check out is Undone. Sharp Objects is based on a novel by Gillian Flynn, who was also one of the writers on the show, and you already saw Gone Girl, but there's another film adaptation of one of her novels, and that's Dark Places. I wasn't sure if I should recommend this one because I don't have a problem recommending movies I didn't like if I know other people liked them. Likewise, I don't have a problem recommending movies that got bad reviews if I actually like them, but if it's a movie that got bad reviews and I also wasn't a fan, then I'm kind of conflicted. But you have Hulk in your favorites, and that one got bad reviews, so you might be open to watching movies that a lot of people didn't like. There are two other movies that got bad reviews that I was hesitant to include that I think fit the vibe, so I'll mention them anyway, and you can decide for yourself whether or not they'd be worth your time. The Girl on the Train and The Woman in the Window, which stars Amy Adams like Sharp Objects and has a Danny Elfman score, and you mentioned the Danny Elfman score in your review for Hulk. But a movie I love that didn't get terrible reviews that I think you might like is Widows, which Gillian Flynn co-wrote the screenplay for. Since Sharp Objects is a mystery thriller, I think you might be interested in Prisoners, Mystic River, and Gone Baby Gone. The first movie that comes to mind when I think of Bacurau is The Most Dangerous Game. Since Bacurau is a contemporary western, I think you might like Let the Corpses Tan. But Bacurau is also kind of a sci-fi western, so I think you should check out Westworld. The directors of Bacurau cited The Wicker Man as an influence. Since you're a fan of Hulk and it seems like you've already seen a lot of superhero movies, I wanted to recommend some movies that can technically be considered superhero films that you haven't seen yet. So I'm going to recommend Hellboy, Chronicle, The Crow, and Unbreakable. But then I started thinking of the genetic engineering and shape-shifting aspect of the Hulk as a character, so I also think you might like The Fly.